Welcome to the Sabrosa Podcast, your underground hub. Welcome back to another episode of the Sabrosa Podcast. We in the building. We got Pootie in the building.
What's good, everybody? It's Double O here. Peace to Steph, Sabrosa Podcast, for having us. Another day at the office.
Y'all heard him. Another day at the office. We have a lot of things to cover. We got things to do, and we have an album to get into. As y'all can see the beautiful display here, rinse and repeat. Hey, so how are you doing today?
Good, better now. I'm happy that I finally tapped in. Traffic was cool.
Yeah, how was it getting here?
Not too bad at all.
Okay, good.
The parking lot threw me off. I was like, is this a setup?
Yeah, well, it's kind of setty-uppy, right?
Yeah, it's like, oh man,
Ooh, eerie.
I've seen The Wire too many times to pull up to a parking lot.
What are
and
you
not
walking
see
into? Where does Sabrosa have you going? That's why I be sending the location, because I be like, yo, it's here.
I'm not gonna lie, Don shit. I was like, if she has niggas come out to this parking lot and get me for her, she gonna be killing it. I just saw Griselda. I was like, I'm all for gold.
I was about to say, yo, you took the words right out of my head. I said, don't make me get on my Griselda Blanco shit.
Peace to La Madrina.
Yo, so I'm glad that today's commute was good. Actually, the weather's pretty good today, so I'm excited about that. I'm ready for the spring to come. I'm ready for the winter to be gone, for real. And we have some things to cover today. So first, thank you for being on the show, and I appreciate you and like your time and just coming on here to talk to me, talk to the viewers, talk to everybody about what you have going on. Because before we even have been sitting on this blue, beautiful couch, you guys will see the couch.
They are
it's beautiful
too. Velour, motherfuckers.
That velour, baby.
That
you feel me? That NYC, that New York.
Straight up.
That classic. So now that I'm gonna get into it. So before we sat on this couch, I already knew who you were. I don't want to be creepy or anything, but like I already knew who you were because I went to a show in Jersey City. What's it called? Don't tell me the name. Okay, you might as well tell me. It's like across the street from the chicken spot.
The pet shop. Yeah.
I went to a show there. And I think you performed there like the week before or the week after, and I heard about your show, and I was like, damn, I gotta check them out. Like I saw like a replay of it, but I'm just happy we're here.
Yeah. Fact.
So tell us a little bit about your journey How did you get into music? Like, what was the first thing that you decided that you wanted to do creatively? Was it music? Was it playing an instrument? Like, what was the first memory that you have?
Well, first and foremost, good question. Secondly, I heard about you too before I came on here, and you guys, your reputation precedes you. They're very professional, everybody.
Thank you.
What's it called? But you know, to lean into the question, my first memories with music was just, I think my brother had he had a big ass boombox, and he used to play like shit like Gangsta Paradise and what's it called, Fugees and shit. And I remember the first time I heard Gangsta Paradise, I was scared from the instrumental when that shit starts.
Fire.
And it's just like,
yeah.
I don't know what the fuck. It felt like something bad was gonna happen, and it bugged me out that hearing music could make me feel anything. So,
yeah.
And then my brother ended up rapping, but he ended up falling back on rapping because he had to take care of his first child. And when I told him that I wanted to do it, he told me to just focus on freestyling. So for 5 years straight, all I did was freestyle constantly. And then I ran into Roper Williams, who produced my first album. And he heard me freestyling in the lunchroom, and I started going to his house. He just got an MPC for his birthday or Christmas or some shit.
Yeah.
So while he was cooking up and learning how to make beats, I was just sharpening my sword, and we were just kind of built off of each other like that, and here we are.
So you would say that your first memory was basically inspired by your brother, by your older brother.
Essentially, yeah.
I feel like I could agree on that. I feel like my first memory was my oldest brother, and it was a Big L album.
Ooh.
He was listening to Big L in the room with my cousin. They was in Harlem.
Rest
like we
in
was in
peace
my
to the
aunt's
God.
crib. Yeah, and they were listening to Big L Ebonics. And I remember hearing that shit, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is that?
If there was ever something to hear something and think that is that,
yeah,
right?
that was like so I could relate to like that, like because we kind of, they're like our heroes, right? So we kind of like want to be like them a little bit when we're little kids.
Absolutely. I feel like as a child, it's so easy to be, so really insecure and unsure. So to see somebody be unapologetically them, how could you not look at that with reverence? You know what I'm saying? So I could definitely relate.
Yeah. So would you say that those earliest memories of you, like your music, like the earliest memories of your music IQ, basically, have inspired your pen, like the way that you write?
Yeah, absolutely. What's it called? Also, just my background in general. My brother, he was really good at rapping, and something that he really kind of showed me was how to just make people react and how to lean more towards like punchlines and setting up shit and certain word plays where it's like it's almost like stand up, like when Chappelle mentions something at the beginning and then 15 minutes later he mentions it again and it's perfect. The timing is perfect, the execution is perfect, and as a result it garners results, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely say so. It definitely inspired me to lean towards a certain style of delivering my shit. The things that spoke to me when I was younger. I was a real big fan of Wu-Tang, Ghostface, Raekwon, Busta Rhymes, you know what I'm saying? And just how these people were able to vocalize and become bigger than themselves, you know what I mean? They were still the size of a man, but just based off of their performances, it almost feels like they became 3 times their size. So
they were actually the first group they were the first group to have 9 members and to get independent deal and a group deal at the same time.
Nah, Wu-Tang is forever.
They changed like the trajectory of contracts for like
definitely influenced me from the way I produce to the way that I write to the way I collaborate. I never said this shit anyway. I still got a big ass Wu-Tang logo painted in my room. Yeah,
Wu-Tang is for the kids and Wu-Tang is forever.
Straight up.
Peace to the Wu. And actually, now that you say that, I can see how that inspiration reflects on specifically your visuals. Because I did want to get into this a little bit later, but I'll just say it now because it's perfect. I believe the visual for 1,000,000 Degrees.
Oh, we did shoot. I think we shot a video for Rinse and Repeat.
Rinse and Repeat. There we go.
Yeah.
The video is in a car wash. And I'm not gonna lie, when you were wearing like the one-piece suit and stuff like that, reminds me of like, it was like very movie-esque, and like it's different from like a regular music video. I was intrigued. And those are the type of things that they did. Like they did some off the wall shit. Like Wu-Tang would do some different type shit. Their videos were different. Their energy was different. So I could see the inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like as artists, we have a responsibility to kind of like not just challenge ourselves, but challenge the status quo regarding what everybody else around us is doing. And I feel like I was just seeing a lot of videos of just motherfuckers rapping in the camera, just doing basic shit. And I rapped in the camera too, but we're really fans of cinematography, we're like patrons of the arts. And we like, acting and doing all that other shit too. So when we got the opportunity to do something, we said, let's just do something that's like a little movie or some shit kind of theme. And we got inspiration from like The Wash with Snoop and Dre and The Friday and shit like that. And also
Friday, that's why I could see that.
Also the original Wash with Richard Pryor and just
it was fire.
Super taking it back to just, something with a narrative, something that, people could tap into and we can flex more than just our production and rap chops. You know what I mean? We wanted to act, we wanted to show people that we try to put together something cohesive.
And it shows versatility too.
Yeah, thank you.
It shows versatility because not everybody is able to put music together, and also put visuals together and like put a whole concept together and like roll the whole thing out. It's very hard to do everything.
Yeah, we love what we do, you know what I mean? And luckily this isn't either of our, first rodeo, both I and Nothing New. So, when it was time to come together, it was kind of easy to, plan everything out. And that's something that I kind of want to, stress to every artist, you know what I mean? Like, leave no stone unturned. And, you know what I mean? A little elbow grease never hurt nobody. A couple more fucks given. Invest in yourself. Get a vinyl made. Tap in, you know what I mean? Set up your own tours, you know what I mean? Write your own videos. Get into it because, a lot of people can rap. Not everybody can piece together all of this shit that people need labels for, you know what I'm saying? So at that point, you are your own machine and there's only one way if you stay consistent. That's what we found.
What do you think because when you say invest in yourself, I do agree with that, but how do you feel what is the importance of an artist investing in themselves?
It's super important. I mean, if you think like without saying too much, it's all about self-development. It's all about knowing your worth and knowing what you can be, you know what I mean? I feel like if you look at what hip hop has become, it's like no matter where you go in the world, its presence is felt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's motherfuckers in Asia rapping, motherfuckers in South America, and it all started in our little nook and cranny of the world. You know what I mean? So at that point, you think about what America's biggest export is. I feel like it's comfortable. I feel comfortable saying it's culture, it's music, it's sound, it's influence, and just based off of that, it's like you can do something tangible by just being unapologetically yourself and making music and staying true to yourself and putting it out there and building some shit. Because once upon a time, I was just freestyling in an empty room. Now motherfuckers are buying my records from Germany. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just...
It becomes a movement.
Absolutely. And it becomes more than... It's bigger than me. You know what I mean? It's like
right.
Badu said, you know what I mean? It's bigger than the government. You know what I mean?
That's what it's about, though, because people are always going to forget what you tell them, but they're never going to forget how you make them feel. And music makes people feel, and like it's just it's something that it just can't be explained in words. It's just something that you just have to feel. Like, for example, me, like, I get goosebumps when I hear certain things. You know what I mean? So that's how I know that I like it, because I get a goosebumps. So it's, you know, the person next to me might not like it, but I know that I felt that music. That's just how I know when certain shit is fire or not. That's just my thing. I get goosebumps.
Facts. I could do
so that. Yeah, shit like that. But how would you describe your work-life balance? How do you, like, what are some things that you do to balance the two? Because you have an independent career, then you have most likely you work probably, and then do you have a family? Like, do you have kids and stuff like that?
None that I know of, but
okay.
So far, everything's been kind of like really cool, like just regarding how I've been able to balance my work. I feel like back in the day, I kind of used to get in my head where I'm like working a 9 to 5 and I'm like, why am I here? I should be writing songs. I should be in the studio. But it didn't take long for me to kind of like learn humility and just realize that I'm bigger than my job and the dream is self-funded. You know what I'm saying? And a gig is a gig, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, everybody doesn't have the resources to do some shit, but as long as you go and get those resources and do it, you know what I mean? At the end of nothing's stopping you but yourself, you know what I'm saying? So I don't give a fuck. I mop floors, I walk dogs, I was a concierge, I made pizzas. I was an HVAC and electrical technician. I did mad shit. You know what I mean? I did mad shit. But one thing I never stopped doing was my music. You know what I'm saying? Because that was something that granted me clarity. It was something I didn't need therapy because of music. I didn't need nobody to talk to because I had my pen and my pad. And it constantly had me focusing on capturing a moment in time and appreciating what I have, but also thinking about what I have and not tripping over it because I know I can get it based off of what I have.
Right.
So to answer your question, you know, I found a sense of humility, and I started realizing that, you know, the dream is self-funded. You know what I mean? And you got to do what you got to do if you want to do it, because these videos are expensive and these vinyls are expensive. So, you know, to see it go and to see it move it's a blessing. I'm happy. And
it's also important to work, guys. It's also important to, because investing in yourself, people think, oh, I have to spend so much money. Everything's about money, money, money. Like, yes, it's about money, but also there are people out there that are willing to work collaboratively, people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there are people out there that are looking to build their resumes and to do this and to do that. So if there's any exchange of information or any knowledge that you guys can share, like, look for those kind of people. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I like to say it's almost like one of those mobile games where you could just kind of grind it out and get to the level you want, or you could throw a couple like real life dollars in it and just, you know, you buy your way in there. But I like to think that, you know, the sweet spot is understanding the balance. For example, like, you know, if you have a certain budget, if you have access to certain, you know, features and collabs, think about the long game. You know what I mean? I remember a situation where a friend of mine had access to a crazy feature, and they just, you know, threw it on their first body of work, and I was like, all right, that's cool, but that's hard to follow up because that feature was pretty pricey. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I was kind of thinking it would have been better if, you know, maybe if he had 3 other bodies of work and that feature was maybe what he dropped the 3rd time or the 4th time. So it's like something's building up to it, you know what I mean? Like planning out with your budget for the long haul, you know what I mean? Right. You don't have to get a super expensive video right now. Maybe you could just get 3 cheap videos, and then while those are rolling out, you're saving up for the more expensive video that's going to follow it up, because at the end of the day, people like to see growth. You know what I'm saying? Your shit could be hard, but, you know, you're always going to have to try to outdo yourself. So if you know you can outdo yourself, then set it up and let people see the baby steps before you let them see you run. And just, you know, plan it out like that, because I like to attribute these drops to almost like a combo. Like, you seldom see somebody get knocked out with one punch, and it's the same thing with these albums. It's rare that somebody drops something and it's out of the park. Yeah. But when you treat your drops like a combo and you save the heaviest one as the haymaker, you catch, you know what I mean? You catch the people with a good 5-piece, one project, one quarter, another project, another quarter, another project. Then you save that other one, bop, catch them the 5th time. You're showing consistency, you're showing growth. And I think it's bared fruit for me. And it's important to drop the music, right? Because at the end of the day, I mean, what is it going to be doing just in the cut? Like, it's important to drop the music. Yeah, absolutely. You have to like what you drop, though, too. But on the other side of that, there's shit that I didn't like that, you know, my producers have told me, like, no, this has to go, and it goes out and people love it. So I've also learned to trust the people around me. But, you know, I feel like it's hard as an artist, you know what I'm saying? We're so self-critical, you know what I mean? We don't want to be we don't want to put out any version of ourselves other than our best versions because, you know, who knows who's going to want to do this again. So I definitely sympathize with artists that are kind of hoarding music. But what I would say to them is tap in with somebody that you trust and go through everything and reevaluate it and, you know, determine how fast you could pump shit out and, you know, evaluate how much you have in the chamber and just stretch it out.
What are some ways that you think that artist, like, what are some ways that as an artist that they can, like, you guys can do to get over that, that like fear, like of releasing maybe a new song with a new sound, maybe something that sounds a little bit different from the normal. What are some ways that you can get over that fear?
I'd say there's nothing to it but to do it. You know, once upon a time I used to like really choke on my music too and hold it in like that, but once I started realizing the results that it was garnering when I just put it out, I felt more comfortable putting it out. So like for my first project, when I dropped it, I struggled to put out the next project because I was trying to outdo that project rather than just kind of treating it like a creative camera and I'm just capturing a moment in time. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm not tripping on what the last body of work was. I'm just going to do now and I'm going to put it out and that's now. It's almost like having a camera and not tripping over knowing you're never going to run out of shit to take a picture of because there's always something to take a picture of. So, I mean, in that regard, just, you know, put shit out. But once you put shit out, you know, you start to see, you know, people give a fuck and people want to tap in. Or if they don't, then you got to reevaluate. But regarding switching it up, I'd say, you know, do little things to kind of prep the people. You know what I mean? Put out a little visual, a little sample, something and just showing it and just kind of getting a feel for whether or not they're feeling it. And if they're not, so what? You know, do you. But at least that way you could kind of dip your toe in the pool before you jump in.
I did see that back in 2019 you had a couple like multiple plays on Shade 45 and stuff like that, and you had, and I watched a bunch of your old videos, like you were like very excited, you were like telling people like I told you this is gonna be the year. How did that feel for you, like to have your song playing on like a major station? Like how's that feeling?
Validating. It makes me feel like I feel like every artist could kind of relate to this, where it's like it's easy to wake up one day and feel like you're doing what you're meant to do, and then wake up another day and question whether or not the last 4 years was a mistake. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whether or not you're wasting your time. You know what I mean? But realistically, nothing is for nothing. The connections you make, the things that you learn when you do this, it can all translate into real life shit. So, you know, it was validating. It felt crazy. You know what I'm saying? Especially since that was my first project, because I knew people up to that point that have dropped, you know, 5-10 projects and it wasn't even a blip. But for me to just drop my first one and to get Shade 45 is like, who the fuck do you know? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, the universe unfolds as it should. Shout out to DJ Tony Touch, D-Zilla, my guys, you know what I'm saying? Hold me down.
That's what's up. And you look so happy, and there was so many people reposting it. And then, like, honestly, when I was watching the old, like, those videos, I got happy because that, like, I could feel it through the screen. So I don't know, I like watching stuff like that. And then I watched your growth up until this point. So what do you think that is different now with the Rinse and Repeat project versus the Bermuda Duffels? Because you took 2 years off from dropping between projects.
Yeah, absolutely. Damn, it feels crazy when you say it like that. But yeah, I definitely did take 2 years off. I think what's different is, it's funny, it's actually in the title, you know what I mean? Just rinse and repeat, you know what I mean? Do it again, but this time I'm doing everything that I did right, and I'm doing everything that I didn't get a chance to do. I feel like Dumplings and Bermuda Duffels deserved music videos. They deserved a stronger press run. But I was in a certain place mentally, and I was more concerned with hitting a quota rather than, you know, focusing on logistics and doing it in a different way.
Right.
So when I came to this point, you know, I looked at what worked and I looked at what didn't, and I did everything. So we got a crazy video. We left no stone unturned for the press run. You know, the vinyls have been moving amazingly. The shirts have been moving
Congratulations.
amazingly. Thank you. Yeah, no, it feels amazing.
I'm going to get a shirt. You have some here?
Yeah.
I'll get one before I go.
I got one right there, but I actually got a gift for you and your team.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to buy.
Many of y'all.
I want to cop something before, just to support.
That's for you and your team. That's
oh
for
my
you.
Goodness. Thank you. Look, guys, I got a new tote.
It's a durable tote.
And this is good.
One of y'all can wrestle for the second one.
Look, y'all, make sure y'all hit him up for that merch, okay?
You know what I mean? We doing it, bro. We doing it. Functional merchandise. You know what I mean? You digging records.
This is
amazing.
I was going to say.
You can fit 12 records in here. Got a zipper. Got an inner pocket. I mean,
this is exciting. Like, this is what this is about, guys. Like, this right here, you know, having your own. There's nothing like having your own. You know, selling your own, getting your own stuff going, having your own concepts into something you can actually feel and touch.
Absolutely.
So 2 years in between projects, I did notice that for Rinse and Repeat, you did your song selection. You chose more songs, and I feel that in between the time that you took off, you came back stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there was a lot that happened. You know what I'm saying? I was in a studio with a couple guys. I'm no longer there no more. What's it called? But it was a crazy learning experience. There was a lot of chess pieces moving, but it almost felt like I went from being a part of a group of mercenaries to being a nomad. And I had to kind of like learn how to like, you know, live off the land, so to speak.
Right.
Whereas before I had a base of operations, now I have 2 separate little home studios, and I don't really like bringing people in. So I'm going out more to the city to go to these sessions, and I'm, you know, doing the groundwork. Like I said before, nothing is for nothing. And to all the artists that are out there that want to start moving different, music could feel easily like a job that you're never getting a promotion for, but that's because you're supposed to give yourself the promotion. You're supposed to take yourself more serious. You're supposed to tap in even harder, challenge yourself to write songs you never wrote before, concepts you never wrote before. You know what I mean? And just, you know, don't be a pussy.
And try new things, right?
Straight up.
Go to uncharted territories.
Straight up.
Book your show. Book yourself for a show in a place that you don't even know about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know, because you might meet a random person. Like, you will get more love from strangers than people that you know.
Ain't that some shit? Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
You will get more love from strangers than people that you know. All right, y'all. Welcome back. We have a special guest on the phone.
Harry.
Yo. Harry
in the building.
Nothing new.
Nothing new. I'm kidding. Wait.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Sorry, I heard myself.
What's good, y'all?
All right. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today. I appreciate your presence, your energy. Thank you for being here with us.
Of course.
So I definitely want, since I have you guys both here, I definitely want to get into the Rinse and Repeat project, you know, some of the inspiration behind it, you know, a couple questions I have about it. So first and foremost, how did you both meet?
Harry, you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. Me and Nothing New and I met at these gatherings in Jersey City called Ninth House that used to be hosted by mutual friends of ours named Good Food and Gigi.
Shout out to Good Food.
Yeah, the man, the myth, the legend.
He's been on the show before. Shout out to Good Food.
He's a good guy. But that's where we met each other, and you know, I guess we kept an eye on each other's work, and by the time we ended up talking about this project, we were so comfortable with each other and had, you know, put out a couple bodies of work individually that we just felt comfortable coming together. But yeah, it all started at Ninth House way back when. Ironically enough, that's when we both met a lot of the friends that we still have today. Isn't that right, Harry?
Yeah, Harry, that's correct.
Okay, so you guys, you know each other for a couple years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's been like since at least 2019.
Wow, it's been a while.
Oh, that was when I dropped P. Harry, yeah, we met when I dropped my first album.
That was my next thing I was gonna say. That was around your first drop.
Yeah.
Your first album drop. So, did you all collaborate from back then, like somehow?
No, it was more like a gathering place where people could come and kind of like show what they've been working on.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Okay, so you guys met in 2019. So from 2019, you've had like a friendship.
Yeah.
And
we do each other love, and then as the years gone through, we see each other, and you know, a lot of what's called frequently spots that we frequented. We just got tighter and tighter, and then when it came time to do this shit, I saw him at a park. It was a show going on. What park was that show going on in, Harry?
Yo, that was Washington Square Park.
It was a show going on in Washington Square Park, and I don't know why, but I knew he was doing his thing and I was doing my thing, and I knew we weren't gonna put anything out within the next like 6 months, but I knew that if me and him like planted a seed, that when it grew, it was gonna be a wild tree. So I just went up to him and I was like, "Yo, we should make something and just fuck everybody's head up," because I knew it was gonna be a project that everybody would appreciate, but nobody would expect, because we both, you know, kind of do different things and we both move at a different pace. So when we came together and met each other at the same frequency, it just worked.
Yeah, because this I definitely want to get into just the presentation of the vinyl. So this is vinyl, everybody, so make sure you guys tap in and buy it. If you don't already, if you do collect vinyl, make sure you guys get this.
Act
Rinse
while
and repeat.
supplies last.
While supplies last. I want to get into this because I like this. It gives me, not only is it a vinyl, so we all know this vinyl's vintage, right? it also gives me like an old school movie, like a movie ticket vibe.
Yeah.
Am I on the money or on the right? It gives me like a
That has to be
like
all attributed to my good friend Nothing New and his expertise in what's called graphic design and studying. He went to school for the shit. He's crazy. He's a madman. And when it was time for us to do this, like I said, we saw inspiration from, you know, movies like The Wash and Friday and the original Wash with Richard Pryor. So we just, you know, and he's madman. This is an album cover that he designed and he made on Blender. And, you know, I got to tip my hat to him. He was literally figuring out the program while he was doing this. So we weren't sure what our album was going to be, what our album cover was going to be or the back. But once he figured it out, we knew that this was it. He absolutely killed it. Good job, Harry.
Yeah,
Thank you, Harry.
that's definitely the inspiration that I get with this. So what is some of the creative direction that inspired for you to work on this project together?
Harry, you want to take that
I
one?
think we both have like a, oh, damn. Yeah. I think we both had like a really good sense of humor, and it was something that boiled down to like everything we did when we kicked it and everything. So when it came down to figuring out the album, it was more about just talking stuff that we had, you know, learned we had a mutual interest towards. So movies and like old soul records and just funny shit. And with that gave us the opportunity to really dive into a concept, because he had already done stuff like that for Dumplings and Bermuda Duffels, where he had designed a business or made merch that kind of created a world. So when we started working on this, we were able to take the mutual interest that we already had and kind of meet with just his ability to create a world. So we took all those things together and formed this entire universe.
Yeah, that's definitely the energy that I get. That it's like a alter universe.
Yeah.
And it's like a different version of
Right.
yourselves in a way. Because you're telling like stories in the album. I listened to it multiple times, and it's not only just rap music. It's talking about elevation. It's talking about conscious. It's talking about you know, waking up and like getting through the day. You feel me? Just like it's painting a picture. It's not just one thing. It's many things in one. So I don't know. Did I get too deep?
Nah, you hit that. That's exactly what we were going for when we made the project. I think what's called, me and Harry both, like we said, what's called, when we were whipping it up, it's pretty much based on just the spirit of the working class and just kind of getting up and getting to it. Another day at the office shit.
Like I do want to get into the sound of it. Like it's very, I want to get into like the sound selection, you know, the production of it. You know, what were some of like the records, for example, that were thought about for like the sound production of this? Because like, for example, like Moon is Near. I hope you guys can hear this. Like this. You know, with that hip hop, that drum presence, you know, you waited, you let, and then it drop, and then you start, you know, that's like,
Yeah, absolutely.
it's like head bop, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not like you're not just talking to talk, you know, it's like, I could tell it was like, it's very thought out.
Yeah.
So what were some of like the sound inspiration behind it? Like the heavy drums and, the snares and like
Tell him, Harry.
the
Talk your
eerie,
shit.
very eerie, very like, you know, I was feeling like I'm getting chased in the hallway
That's
type
the mad
shit.
scientist. That's
You
the mad
feel me?
scientist. That is
Was that
Nothing
the
New.
energy that you were on when you were creating the
Talk your
production
shit,
side
Harry.
of it?
Tell her.
Because I love the production side of everything. Because real quick, like the producers are the unsung heroes of the industry, and they're the ones that really paint. They're like the artist paints the picture, but the producer creates the provides the canvas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I
And the
like getting
frame.
into this
And the
this
frame.
is
The
and the frame.
canvas
You know
and
what
the
I'm
frame.
saying? And it becomes the art. You know, and it walks and
Right.
it lives. So I
the
do
word.
want to
Yeah.
know about like what was going through your mind when you're creating these sounds.
Ah, man. It was like a really particular time. I think like Boldy Jackson had just done, or Boldy Jackson, my mistake. Boldy James just did Bo Jackson. and like the atmosphere that Alchemist was getting and the atmosphere that like Freddie Gibbs and Madlib was getting, combined with like just the New York City kind of like beat scene that goes on, like those spaces inform pretty much all of my decisions when making music. But like, I think for me, I wanted to create something like a score for a movie. Like I always wanted to be able to like produce an album from top to bottom, and with the idea of it being a score. So working with Pootie, he's imaginative, and he takes the ideas to the furthest levels that they can kind of go. So I was like, yo, what if there was like a blaxploitation kind of sound for like these soul samples? 'Cause I wanted to do like drumless stuff, but without sampling, just to see if I could, just out of like curiosity or whatever. And it was like, what if it was an Italian sample? What if it was a jazz sample? And thinking more of each composition as like, what if it was a sample where I found the best part of the sample and I didn't have to do nothing to it? So that was the space that I was creating out of, more on that feeling and less on any visual kind of thing or any even emotional place. It was all just, like just trying to get that feeling across, man.
Yeah, it was like, it's very soulful, and I feel like the way that you created the sounds. I mean, guys, please, you guys have to listen to it to know exactly what I'm talking about. But I feel like the composition combined with your lyricism, it just goes it went well, it paired well together very well.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
And it just works. Yeah. So I hope you guys work again in the future.
Oh yeah, for sure, Harry. We're gonna fuck them up again.
And I definitely want to get into, you guys are hitting the ground running. Like you're actively doing shows. You're performing the project. How's that going so far?
It's going really good. We've been performing all over. We've had shows in Philly, all over Jersey, a lot of spots in New York. We're going into Delaware, North Carolina. We're tapping into a lot of different spots, just spreading the word. Everywhere we go, we sell more vinyls, more people tap in. And the reception's just been really good. But I gotta credit my guy Nothing New here, just for piecing everything together, because anything that I was able to deliver lyrically was solely based off of what the production brought out of me, and his ability to just paint this score and help with the visuals. I feel like that's a different level of being tapped in with a project when you're creating the fucking cover for it, in a world in 3 dimensions, and you're also creating the sonics for it. You know what I mean? And then it's like, it feels like I'm just like a character that's plopped up in this world. Like, what am I going to do here now? But just based off of the world that he helped me provide, it's like, it helped me, be like, damn, okay, I'm going to run on walls.
And I also feel like this ties in very well with just the culture in general, because I feel that you guys are not only creating a project, not only just selling a vinyl, you're also telling a story. Because like the visuals that you provided, it's like a movie.
Yeah, shout out to Nate Franks.
Shout out.
And I am looking forward to seeing more.
Absolutely.
From both of you. I want to see more like movie-esque type videos and things like that, because I feel like that ties into the culture. It just goes hand in hand, and more people need to explore their creativity. So I definitely want to give you guys your flowers, and I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
Because not only are you just putting out music and just saying, hey, I have a vinyl for sale, you're also creating like timeless work, And
I feel like we've both been like really adamant with trying to create a world so our listeners can really immerse themselves in, to the point where it's like, even with the last projects we dropped, we would like, I would be so adamant about, the color of the room, the smell of the room, what kind of drinks do we have? Do the drinks that we have go well with this shit? You know what I mean? Do we have bud? Does the bud go well with this shit?
Yeah.
Just making it so people could come in this room, and not only are they listening to the sound, but it's almost like they stepped into the album.
And they're also like you guys are creating an experience for them. Like Rinse and Repeat is an experience.
Absolutely.
That's the vibes that I'm getting from it, just from down to like the marketing of it. And I know it sounds like cliche, like marketing and stuff like that, but that's just what it is. I mean, essentially, when you're posting your tours and you're doing like just the videos that I'm seeing for it, and the vibe of it. How long did it take you both to put this together?
Man.
Or just around how long?
What you think, Harry?
it's interesting because it was in waves. You know what I mean? It's not like it was one set time.
Right.
So when we were writing the album, it was from 2020 to I want to say 2022, and then it was getting all the merch and assets together. Yep. Then it was merch and assets getting that together from the from 2022 to 2023. That was a lot of hustling different jobs and figuring out how we're gonna get the money together. Sorry. It's a lot of hustling jobs and figuring out how we're gonna get the money together to do all this stuff. So like when we were really ready to do the project, we already had spent 3 years just building up into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, crazy. Harry, I looked at the post. We got these vinyls like 2 years ago. We've been sitting on some of this merchandise for over 12 months and just planning. But that's what I was saying regarding leave no stone unturned. And if you're going to do anything, do it right. Because even though we were sitting on this shit for 12 months, we made sure we had our video, our shirts, our vinyls, our press run was set up. So, and let it be a testament to him where it's just like the music held up really well. Because a lot of this music, while some of it was recorded fairly recently, the bulk of it, I would say, was recorded like, towards the beginning of the project's conception, because we had to get the vinyls made. And if we had the vinyls for 2 years, we must have been sitting on the music for 3+. No, Harry? But it aged well.
About 2022 was like when we were done.
You guys call each other Harry, right? And you also have a song on the album called Harry's Theme.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Harry's a term of endearment. What's it called? One of my friends, he started working on Wall Street, and there was a lot of white guys. He couldn't remember names, so he just started calling everybody Harry. And then when we started kicking it, he started calling me Harry. And when he explained it to me, I liked it because it was a term of endearment. And I was like, I could get behind that. So when I started going to these functions with, Nothing New and Brain and Food, I started calling them Harry, and everybody takes it to their counties. And now
that's it.
Yeah, now there's more Harrys than ever, and we going off.
I do want to talk about the song titles.
Oh, yeah.
Because I found it interesting. It's 10 songs, guys. It's number 1 is One for Pootie, but it has a number 4, and I found that cool because I remember when we used to write like that.
Yeah, boy.
And then you have a Million Degrees with a feature.
Dre Doso. Shout out to Dre Doso.
Dre Doso.
Big shout out to Dre Doso, yeah.
Moon is Near. You have Body Loyal, Assorted Cheeses.
Body Royal.
Yeah. Assorted Cheeses. Muse, Wanna See You Shine with the letter U. Harry's Theme Interlude. Rinse and Repeat, and Drive to Jers. Rinse and Repeat has a dope visual, guys. You guys have to check that out. It's on YouTube.
Thank you.
Super dope. It's a car wash. I think that whole concept was super dope. I actually sent it to 2 of my friends today.
Thank you.
And I think they subscribe to your
Thank
YouTube.
you.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Talking shit.
Yeah, so that was super dope. That whole concept, guys, definitely go check that out. Go subscribe to your YouTube. That was dope. So how long are you guys planning to go on like a tour with the Rinse and Repeat?
We ain't set nothing in stone.
Yeah, we ain't set nothing. We're kind of just handling it. Like, we're playing it by ear, but we have our dates set out throughout like next month and a little bit spilling into the next one. We're really just kind of like working while both collectively working on the next bodies of work for both of us. We're just pushing, man. We're just working. We're trying to spread the good word because we feel like this is something that more people should tap into and that more people would appreciate. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of shit being dropped now, especially when you look at artists, of our caliber, where it's like, the dream is self-funded, you know what I'm saying? And we are kind of rocking independently and just moving accordingly. And it's like, this is the level, these are the standards that we're setting for ourselves. And it's label shit. We're just chipping away on our own.
Yeah, it's definitely like, I think the caliber, you're right, the caliber of work that's coming from the scene is just so crazy and so filled with creative potential and individuality. Especially as we get closer to like so many things being automated by AI and like so many people taking shortcuts to figure things out. I think like this community has something special where we take our time with our projects, and that creates like this timeless energy. These songs that outlive the time. You know what I mean? Like, so I agree with Harry 100%. I think like there's no deadline, but we're always going to be working towards spreading this music, spreading this energy. Because I think it's necessary. I think it's needed.
With that being said, there was no artificial intelligence or samples used on this project. So this is 100% from the soul. From the soil. We coming ill.
Very well thought out stuff, guys. Please check it out. And if you like vinyls, even if you don't, still buy the vinyl. You already know.
It's just like a rookie card.
But
Bro,
I definitely want to get into, since I have you both here. I definitely have a question for you both. As men in the industry, I like in the underground spaces and artists in your own way, what are some ways that you combat mental health and check in with yourself in between work and balancing being an artist, a creative, and checking in with your mental health?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Harry, you got anything for that? I got something for it.
Yeah.
I feel like we can both hit that.
Yeah, for sure. I think being honest with yourself is huge. I think a lot of the time we kind of look at the expectation of what we want to do with our life, and we make it too big to meet. So I think when we're honest with ourselves and where we're at, it allows us to really take care in how we move and how we work ourselves. So for example, I wake up in the morning and think to myself like, yo, what do I actually want to do today? Versus grinding at something because culture says to grind at something. I'm more focused on just doing what feels right to me and being intentional and holding that space across the board. And I try to check in with myself frequently with my emotional health, with my mental health, and with the people around me to make sure that we're all good. We're all at least maintaining, at the very least maintaining.
Right.
Nicely
So
worded.
yeah, that's kind of how I do that stuff.
Nicely worded.
Nice.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with what Harry said. Personally, I just kind of like really close to what Harry said. Just try to tap in and be really honest with myself, and just kind of not try to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak, and understand that really we're just competing against ourselves. And even when we're not doing that, we have to be human.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We have to feel, because like I said, these projects, you know, if they're anything, they're capturing moments in time, and the only way that we can, you know, process those moments in time is by being present during them and living them. Yeah. You know what I mean? It took me a while to realize that I had to go and experience new things so that way I could, you know, present it. It's like a journalist not discovering any new stories. Like, what are you gonna write about? You know what I'm saying? So just kind of like that, just being creative and just kind of using the creativity as like as an outlet. You know what I mean? Because whenever I feel something, I'll write about it. Man. You know what I mean? I'll think about it. I'll process it, and it comes to the point where it's become a healthy way to look at things from all angles, as opposed to just taking a subjective stance. So I found that that's really been, you know, helpful towards my mental health and being a creative and just kind of staying consistent, but also staying healthy. Yeah,
because, you know, nowadays, like, everybody always wants to preach mental health, but I feel like also, like, me, for example, like, I'm a woman, so I will never know what it's like to be a man. So I feel like that's another way for us women to get perspective. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because artists also are not robots. You guys are humans, and you have feelings, and you have lives. And, you know, sometimes when people support or they're like fans, they don't humanize the artists. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's how we learn from one another, through perspectives. Absolutely. Especially being from two totally different sides. You know, because I'm a hip hop head, but I'm a woman. Yeah. I'm in a very male dominated space. I'm a podcaster, a music podcaster. So it's like, you know, this is how we get perspective. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then also, I do have a question for you guys. Have you ever passed on a collaboration that you later regretted?
I don't think I have. I like to think that the universe unfolds as it should. Wouldn't you say so, Ari? Like, anything that happens, you know, happens for a reason. Yeah, that was the exact answer. Yeah.
That was the exact one.
Anything that happens for a reason. And anything that doesn't happen.
And if it's not,
you know what I mean? Like, if it didn't break you, it's to your benefit. So, like, if I missed a collaboration, it wasn't the right time. And if it's really right, it'll come back again. Yeah. But there's no reason to regret those things. Exactly, man. Like, what's for you is for you. And there's no denying what's for you. And what's not will pass you by.
I agree.
Modern philosophers, Harry.
Well, hey, talk about it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the Rinse and Repeat project, it's not just talking about, you know, get money, go get with mad girls, you know, go punch somebody. You know, I don't want to say, you know, YouTube will strike me down to the ground.
Yeah, it's honest.
You know, it's honest. It's
honest.
really talking about some honest stuff, and it's talking about elevation, and it's talking about, you know, just ways like you as a man, how you're navigating up until this point, and your journey up until this point, and the things that you're seeing and the things that you're going through. You feel me? Because I feel like it was cruise music, smoke music, but then also real music.
Yeah, absolutely. And
What's
thank you for
interesting
tapping
though,
in.
like when we started this project too, it was like there wasn't a thought process as to what sound we were chasing. We would kick it at the studio or whatever, and we would have a conversation, like a real life conversation. And one of the things that I recognize now, after everything's kind of wrapping up, is like how me and Pootie kind of interact outside of just music. We're just similar in a lot of different ways. And we grew like a good friendship out of that. And I think that creates a space for mental health to kind of take place. You know what I mean? For you to actually talk about real stuff. When you're working with somebody and you don't build with them outside of just music, then your only basis is, okay, you're really good at this and I'm really good at what I'm doing. Let's work together. But when you get to know a person, you know, you're able to take creative risks. You're able to build different worlds and allow different spaces for the other person that you're collaborating with to like create from. It's all about trust.
And it creates bonds too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It creates a bond, and it also creates a safe space.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like kind of like therapeutic, honestly.
No, it's definitely therapeutic.
There's many times where I feel I've came here just to come here and sit here.
Real shit.
Just because I need to just think.
Well, the space, you know what I mean? It's,
you
it's
know what I'm saying?
I could definitely relate.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, thank you so much for giving us the space to talk to you, Nothing New, and like letting us know, you know, a little bit more insight on this project, you know, how you both collaborated on this project, and just your journeys up until this point.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Is there anything that you would like to add to your portion?
Thank you all so much for listening to the album, for running it up, continuing to support what we're doing. But don't just support us, support every local artist that you're a fan of. Take that money and diversify it so we can keep building each other's dreams. That's all I got.
And there's one last question I have for you, Nothing New, before I let you go. If there's any advice that you would tell your younger self, what would it be?
Oh, man, be easier on yourself, man. The things that you are fighting against, they're the things that end up making you later on.
Facts. That's real.
Good shit, Harry.
I try.
You crazy.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Nothing New. We appreciate you. We'll let you get back.
Thank you for having me, y'all.
Thank you so much for coming on the Sabrosa Podcast, guys. Make sure, where can everybody follow you at, Nothing New?
That's NOTHING_NEUE on all socials and all streaming platforms.
Tap in.
All right, y'all. Y'all heard him. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
I'm going to hit you, Harry.
Yep, peace.
Thank you. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all tap in with that was Nothing New.
The God.
Y'all already know. Part of the Rinse and Repeat project. Super cool guy.
Yeah, man. He's amazing. He's really, really creative. And that's something that I really got from building with him that kind of differed from every other project that I cooked up with a producer, where it's like all of them were excellent, but with him it was different, where it wasn't just about sonics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We collaborated on the visuals, even on the back. On the back, we was trying to figure out how to get this little reflection in the puddle. And we wasn't sure if we was going to be able to get it.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about...
And he hit me on like the third day, like, yo, I figured out the reflections. I was like, oh,
fire.
shit, we got it. So then we was able to do the street. But yeah, man, just to that point, man, where he's able to tap in more than sonically. He helped with the visuals. He helped with the rollout. It was a full collaborative effort in every sense of the word.
Yeah. And I feel like the fact that you guys have a friendship and then you collaborated and then you made this work of art and now you're performing it and touring it and feeling it and sharing it, it just makes it that much better. And I'm just glad that I was able to speak to both of y'all, and I'm glad that we were able to get into just like the back end of it, because I feel like the journey is just, we're so busy doing the next thing that we forget about the journey sometimes.
No, that's facts. Thank you for having us. You know what I mean? I love what you guys have going. I've been a fan for quite some time now.
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
I've been tapped.
You should have been hit me up.
Yeah, no, I was just waiting. I didn't want to come. I didn't want to come and just be like, hey, I'm me. You know what I mean? So I was waiting for this. You know what I mean? So I'm happy that I'm not only just able to come here, but I could lay out my merchandise. You know what I mean? I could chop it up with you. You could tap in with the producer. And, you know what I mean? I'm gonna stay tapped in, man, because you guys are building something real special for us to be able to come here and speak about the culture, because this is a very, very pivotal moment in time. And you know what I mean? It's not just up to us to create the art. You know what I mean? You guys are a conduit from us to fans that will discover us or would discover us. So for that, thank you.
Thank you so much. I feel like one hand washes the other, and I feel like it's very important for me to document, and it's very important for you guys to keep putting out the art, because I feel like we all help each other.
Nah, absolutely, man. This is the Hot 97 of them all.
Hey,
y'all out here, bro. She the new Angie Martinez.
No. Oh shit!
Y'all need to tap in. You think it's a joke?
Not the first time I heard this.
You think it's a joke?
Shout out to Angie Martinez. I love you.
Yo, peace.
I met her, by the way.
No way.
Yes, I did.
You crazy?
Go to my Instagram. She's there.
I'm gonna tap in.
I love you. All right. Thank you so much for coming on the show, guys. Make sure you guys tap in with the Rinse and Repeat. Go check out the performances. I believe he's at Pet Shop coming up.
Yeah, tomorrow we at Pet Shop.
Yep. Yeah, and then, by the time this drop, Pet Shop been gone. But make sure y'all tap in, buy the vinyl, buy the merch. Please, guys, we have to support our local artists. We not even about local artists, because today we're local, tomorrow we global, baby. So get it while you can, because then you're gonna regret that you didn't. You feel what I'm saying?
Price going up.
So I'm just saying, like, damn, I got bars today. Something going on.
I'm telling you.
All right, so
gotta have you on the next project,
guys. Hey, thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate you. And where can everybody follow you?
You can find me at POOTIE 5 underscores on Instagram, 4 on Twitter. I mean, tap in, links in bios for the video, for the merch, and for the music. We appreciate y'all, man. Y'all tapping into the Sabrosa Podcast. I mean, we out here.
And guys, thank you for coming on the show. I do have an announcement to make. We do have a website, okay? It is under construction. I will let you guys know. I will link it in the bio once it is up and running. And I do have one request. Please like and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to donate to the Sabrosa Podcast, you can Cash App the motherfucking press.